So you're comfortable. You work hard, you do what is asked of you, and in exchange you get a paycheck so you can be comfortable, so you can work hard and do what is asked of you, and it goes round and around and around. But make no mistake about it, you are just one corporate decision away from losing your job. Every fucking day. The possibility of losing your job is a reality. Oh yeah, we suppress it like we suppress the inevitability of death. It's a defense mechanism that allows us to find some measure of happiness in our daily lives. But that stress is with you 24/7. And eventually it takes its toll. You become accustomed to it, and while it's not always up front and foremost, in times of quiet, it rears its ugly head and screams at you as a reminder, you are someone else's bitch. Most companies and businesses have some form of HR, the part of the company that manages human resources. Think of that term for a moment. Human resources. Resources are defined as a stock or supply of money, materials, staff, and other assets that can be drawn upon by a person or an organization in order to function effectively. Resources, in general, are not infinite. So why am I harping on about being resources for any company? Well, frankly, resources are consumed. Let that sink in for a second. If you're a resource at a company, you are being consumed. You're being eaten away at every day, and you feel it. If you're watching this video, you're experiencing it right now, I'm sure. You're trying to find an alternative because you know deep down that once you've given everything you can, they will simply throw you out like an empty juice box and head to the fridge for another. They are paying for your compliance. They are paying for your skill, but make no mistake, they will cut you in an instant to keep the business alive. Any and all businesses count on making you just comfortable enough so you won't leave, but not so comfortable that you have the means to. It's a balancing act for them, and they are very good at it. If you've had enough of being chewed up and spit out, well, you need to plot another course. The traditional employment system of commuting to an office, sitting in a cubicle farm, and being told how to dress, what you can say, when you can eat, where you can eat, how long you can take for a break, etc., etc., etc. Well, it's being challenged now. There are alternatives. I've said it in my past videos, and I'll keep saying it. You owe it to yourself to explore every option. There's a big movement right now in the corporate world to reel workers back into the office. This has become a huge issue for big businesses. It has nothing to do with productivity. In fact, most businesses have seen an increase in profits if they were smart enough to eliminate some overhead like offices and real estate after the first year of the pandemic shutdown. Productivity has increased, in fact, because most people worked beyond the traditional workday because they no longer had a commute to contend with. They worked until the job was done rather than when the clock and employment agreement said that the day was done. So if productivity went up and overhead costs went down, and employees were happier working from home and their mental well-being improved as a result, why do businesses want to bring everyone back into an office? It just doesn't make any sense. The answer quite simply and sadly is control. Businesses feel they have lost control over their resources. You are getting too comfortable and have too much time to think for yourself, and that goes directly against the system. You're not supposed to have time to think of alternatives. You're not supposed to be well rested. In order for you to be consumed, you must be unaware that it's happening. Working is not what everyone's trying to escape. Let's make that very clear. Corporate ego and control is what everyone's trying to escape. Hell, if someone started their own business on their own terms, it's likely they will work twice, if not 3 times more than they would for a typical employment system. So it's not the work. People are tired of the stress of being controlled. I would go so far as to say no one wants to be consumed. No one wants to be chewed up and used until they have no more to give and then discarded. So I have a message for those who've been in the system for 20 or 30 years. Your days are numbered. Literally, every day you spend unhappy, hoping you don't get let go from a job you've worked for most of your life, is a day you've given away to someone else. Look at the best case scenario of how long you got left on this planet and ask yourself, when is my time? Can I retire? Why can't I retire? I was told if I worked hard all my life, I'd be able to retire. Most of us are finding out all too late that the system lied to us. The pension you paid into all your life is nowhere enough to live off of. And if you think RRSPs you've been paying into for the same amount of time were a great retirement plan, wait until you see what the government takes from that. It's a scam, just like the system. For those of you just about to be indoctrinated into the employment machine, please be careful. Because one job leads to another until you're so entrenched in the system designed to consume you, you'll think there's no way out. Just like all us old folks who came before you, my advice to you is to avoid the traditional employment system at all costs. Find another way. Because once you're in, it takes a great deal of effort to escape. Trust me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is Duff. This has been Over 40. If you've enjoyed this video or learned anything, please like, comment, share, or even better yet, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or learn more about, just drop me a comment below. Until next time, take care, and please remember, if not now, when?